Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another unboxing of Disney's Lorcana, the trading card game. This is the second series, Rise of the Floodborn. So if you haven't checked out the first video and you don't know what this game is, I definitely recommend going back checking out my first two or three videos for unboxing. And in this one, just like your other trading card videos I've done, it'll be 2 videos long, typically. I do the first one, I kind of read through all the cards as I go through, because I've seen some spoilers here and there, but I don't memorize everything. I try not to look at everything, because I know I'm going to buy the cards. I like to be surprised when I read them. And then when video part 2 comes out, I usually do I finish off, I do less than half in the first video because I read through them. Then the second video, I finish up the rest of the packs, but any cards I went through in the first video I've already seen, I don't reread. So it speeds it up a lot quicker, because by then I'm getting a lot more duplicates, just trying to find the last couple I have. And I usually do a list of count of how many I have left to go. If you're not familiar of what Disney Lorcana is a trading card game where as you're playing this other player, you play down your different characters called glimmers. While I talk about this, let me move this and I will work on opening this box up. Your characters are called glimmers, and you play certain cards down as ink, and then you use the ink or your ink well to basically draw or summon your glimmers. And we got some stuff on the side, tape on the side. And then you're trying to do then is quest. Use your glimmers or your characters to quest to defeat your opponent. So unlike other trading card games where typically each character has a life total, or each player has a life total, you have to do 20 cards or discard your entire deck. Here you're trying to get 20 points of lore. Any character that's out can lore, but they can also be used for attacking and guarding and stuff like that, and other special abilities. So it makes for interesting. Not every single card can be played down as an ink card. I can kind of show you when we get into the first cards just which ones can and can't. So it does make it a little bit different than something like, let's say, Magic the Gathering, where you have special land cards for resources. A lot of cards, but it's also different in that sense than something like Yu-Gi-Oh, which uses, or Pokemon, which use no mana resources, technically. Pokemon does have energy cards. Or, like Marvel's Versus system, which any card can be used as a resource. So it makes it a little bit, you gotta balance your deck on what you're gonna do. There are 6 different groupings. There is Amber, Amethyst, Emerald, Steel, Sapphire, and Ruby. So 6 different classifications. They each kind of do their own different thing, and I'm gonna assume most card games that what they did in the first series, they're going to kind of carry over a bit into the second series, but not necessarily. We have 3 different packs of cards, give us some idea of what we're going to be getting into. We're going to have some Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. We have The Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and then we have Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon. So I've not seen this movie, so I'm not going to know who any of the characters are for sure. But we'll definitely get in. We have 12 cards per pack, anything interesting. Flooded with power, the cards in this booster pack will expand your collection and more power to your Disney Lorcana deck. You can check out the game app companion, which lets you keep track of your cards, which is always really fun. Each player does need a 60-card deck, and there's over 200 cards in the set. Each 12-card booster pack contains 1 foil of any rarity, 2 rares or higher, 3 uncommons, and 6 commons. So yeah, we'll get our 6 commons, 3 uncommons, 2 rare cards. I think there's 3 different rarity levels, and then 1 foil, which can be any rare. So you can technically get any rare twice. The rarity levels then go there's actually four rarity levels after that. There's common and uncommon. There's regular rare, super rare, um, legendary, and then there's like enchanted, which are like these super, which are basically alt art like promos of like certain cards. Look at my first bunch of cards. I never got one enchanted. I don't expect to get one here, but maybe because I bought a full box rather than separate packs. We'll see if there's maybe like one per box, but I don't even know if that's a guarantee. Alright, pull all of these out. I should open up the box to see if maybe there's like a box topper or something like that, but it doesn't look like it. Alright. So another really cool thing, I just have to move my camera up a little bit. Another really cool thing about the game is all of the characters are divided into 3 different type of classifications, and we'll get into that when we start showing them. But basically, there's Storyboard, which is like their regular version. This is kind of like who they would see in any of their movies or TV series or whatever. Ooh, packs are a little harder to open than I remember. The secondary ones are the Dreamborn, which are kind of like they're sort of like maybe like they're dreamed versions of themselves. Like they're a little bit better or a little bit more fantasized versions of themselves or exaggerated versions of themselves. Maybe it's how they see themselves or how other people might see them. Could be that way. And then the last one is the Floodborn, which is what this set's named after, kind of. Which are like the like almost like alternate reality what if versions of the characters. So it's like in the first set we had like Tinkerbell, who was like a giant, you know. We have some interesting stuff like that. So I did do 2 of the starter decks. You can also have seen some of these cards through there. And they do have 2 packs, but we'll definitely see what we get. I'm going to still go through all the cards even if they were in those packs. Alright, let's jump into the first one. So, couple of things we want to point off on the cards, just so we know what we're talking about, and then we'll jump in. Up in the top corner is how much it costs. If it has this little circle around it, that's an Inkwell card. It means it can be played for resources, as opposed to like that one that does not have one. Yellow, the color always dictates what kind it is, as well as the little symbol there as well. On the outside, we have our common symbol. Who drew the card, the artist, what set, so kind of 204, EN for English, and 2 says for Series 2. Up here we have Grumpy, and then name below it's kind of like a subtype, because there are going to be lots of characters that have multiple versions, because it's Disney. There's going to be a lot of Mickey Mouses, a lot of Minnie Mouses, a lot of the Beast, Ariels, some of the main characters. On the other side we have I don't remember the exact names, but it's basically your attack and damage. I forgot. It's challenge, I think challenge and defend, I believe. That's basically how much you can, like, try and defeat somebody else with versus how much you can stop their attacks with. Our little line in the middle here says just some keywords. You have, every card will have, every character should have Storyborn, Floodborn, or Dreamborn on them. Just show which one they are. Then the other keywords are just things that might trigger off. They have allies, mentors, princes, princesses, kings, queens, things like that some things can check. And then other ones like 7 dwarves, which we can see like in Grumpy's card here. It says, there's a trouble of ruins. That's like the name of his skill or ability. It says your other 7 dwarf characters get +1 challenge. So that means any other card that says 7 dwarf gets one, so you don't have to try and remember what card's a 7 dwarf. Below the line here is just flavor text, sour as a green gooseberry. And then on the side here shows how much lore he can go for. So he can quest for 1 lore. So he could challenge for 3 and try and defeat another character, remove your opponent's characters off the board, or he could quest for 1 lore. So it's nice because that way you don't have characters that are stuck just for attack, just for defense, or just for questing. Every character should be able to do all 3. Granted, some will do some better than others. That's how you're going to play them, but you're not stuck that way. Alright, so here's our first character. Now we can jump through these a little bit quicker. Alright. and then we have, up next, we have Merlin as a squirrel. So if you remember from Sword in the Stone, Merlin had a shape-shifting battle with, oh, why can't I remember her name? We will get her card, and I'll remember her name at that point. I want to say Nim. Might be Nim. Might be wrong on that. So yeah, he has, and I'm not going to read the cost and the challenges every time, but here's his squirrel version. He's a mentor and a sorcerer, so that's going to trigger some extra stuff. Look before you leap. When you play this character, and when he leaves play, look at the top card of your deck. Put it either on the top or bottom of your deck. So his whole thing with the shapeshifting, we'll see more when we get into him, is like the 7 dwarves are going to play off of each other. The more dwarves you have, the bigger they're going to be. He's going to play off of, when you play this card or when he leaves play, you have the top card of your deck and you put it on the top of the bottom. So basically, it comes into play, you can try and stack your deck, or he gets defeated, you can stack your deck. Trying to find the next version of Merlin is the idea. So that way you can always get it. You can't always trust the luck, boy. Up next, we have in Ruby, we have Felicia, always hungry. So this is from The Great Mouse Detective, which is really fun. They included some of these, I don't want to say like unpopular, but maybe lesser known, or at least lesser known to like maybe more modern people, like younger people. So this is a Dreamborn version, so it's her being a little bit more like fantastical than her regular self. He is reckless. This character can't quest and must challenge each turn if able. So now this is one of them very few exceptions to the rule I just said where they can always do that. This isn't how most cat and mouse games go, is it, Dr. Dawson? And that's Basil. Alright, up next we have the Queen of Hearts from the pack, which is really fun. Quick-tempered. Royal Rage. When you play this character, deal 1 damage to chosen damaged opposing character. So that's cool. So it's also neat as they take damage. So again, this is one thing that makes them a little bit different than Magic the Gathering or like Yu-Gi-Oh! It makes it maybe more akin to like a Pokemon type game. In the sense is you get damage counters. So someone with high defense can take more hits than somebody else. This here right here, she just gets to come into play. She gets to hurt somebody else. So maybe that person's hanging on like, I got one more defense. I can block their 5 attack characters because I have 1 defense left. And she's gonna be like, nah, I'm done with you. So that's pretty cool. We could try to make her really angry. Shall we try? The Cheshire attack. Awesome. Alright, then we have Duke Weaselton, a small-time crook. It's Weaselton, so this is a giant play on Wesselton from, that guy's from Frozen, he is from, I believe, and I might be wrong on this, but I believe he's from, Zootopia. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, so he's, again, lower cost characters, like most card games, aren't going to have as fantastical abilities as some others, but he does have Ward. Opponents can't choose this character except to challenge. So they can try and challenge to defeat him, but they can't play cards to stop him or just immediately get rid of him. Last common card, this is all one of my favorite artworks right here. The Beast. Forbidden Recluse. I love it. He's like, basically, so this is a Dreamborn version. Again, it makes him feel like, the fantastical version, maybe people like picture him as, oh, he's the gargoyle brooding on top of the castle. Woe to the ones who draw his gaze. You're not welcome here. When you play this character, you may deal 1 damage to a chosen character. So now imagine if you had him and the queen together, right? And I'm not going to go through these combos for everything, but just to start off, he comes into play and immediately damage a character. Right? And then the queen comes into play. She can do an extra free damage. So that's kind of cool. Alright, then we have our first uncommon. We have Pacha from Emperor's New Groove. He's the village leader. We got 8 defense. So, like, the steel characters are all about defense. and sometimes attacking. I think red tends to be more aggressive. If I remember, purple's kind of like hand tricking, playing around, deck manipulation. I try to remember it. Yellow, I think, is kind of like healing and does have some protection, but not like straight up just defense. Green, I think, is kind of like board manipulation, where if purple is hand manipulation and deck, green is board manipulation, if I remember. I might be wrong on these. We'll definitely see as we keep going on. Don't be fooled by the folksy peasant look. So he costs 6, but he has a lot of defense. Our next uncommon is Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. She's a true princess. Find your true self with your heart aglow. So not a lot of defense and 5 challenge, which she does 3 questing, which is pretty good. Our last uncommon is Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast, the talking clock. Wait a minute. Your characters with Reckless gain Exert, so you can tap this guy to the side to gain 1 lore. So that's kind of cool because it lets them, normally a Reckless character can't gain lore, they can only attack. And he's basically letting them, hey, I don't want that guy to attack. Like we had Felicia before, you could opt like, if I attack, she's just going to get defeated. You can instead just go lore with her. This is going far enough. I'm in charge here. Alright, so then we do get, what do we say here? We have 2 rare cards, so we're going to see what we got for our first rare. We have Ragadding from the Great Mouse Detective, a very large mouse. This is my kingdom. When you play this character, exert chosen opposing character with 3 challenge or less. Choose one of your characters and ready them. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. Yeah, so this is kind of neat. So you can basically take one of their weaker characters, keep them from the ability to defend, because you can exert them, and then now you can ready one of yours to get them ready to attack. This time, nothing, not even Basil, can stand in my way. Our last rare is also from Emperor's New Groove. We have Kronk, the Junior Chipmunk. Resist 1. Damage dealt to this character is reduced by 1. Scout Leader. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may deal 2 damage to chosen character. So if he defeats somebody else by using a Spore challenge to defeat them, and that's banishing them, he gets to deal 2 damage to another character. So again, this should work with some of these other characters very well. Alright, then. Excuse me. We have our foil. Ends up being a common. That's alright, though. We got a Jasmine. Eriga Agrabah. I'm a fast learner. When you play this character, move up to 1 damage from a chosen character of yours. She may be young, but she got the spirit of a true leader. Yeah, so 1 and 2 there. She costs 1. It's not bad. Throw her in, you get 1 extra damage. She comes into play, she gets damage to free heal. Then the last thing we get is we get a card in every pack. It's just going to talk about the app. You can go ahead and scan that out if it'll work on your thing. You know, just look it up. But then we get 1 of a puzzle piece. This one's for Minnie Mouse. The base set had Mickey Mouse. This set has Minnie. Wide-Eyed Diver. Alright, so we're already quite a ways into this video. We're only through 1 pack. We have a lot to go. So I'm going to kind of stop talking about tactics and stuff a ton, and we're just going to kind of try and get to some more of these cards. I will try. Like I said, that's why I do less packs in the first video, because it takes a while to get through everything, and then when you get to the second and third packs, or second video, I can fly through them a little bit quicker. Alright, next pack we have Painting the Roses Red. This is our first non-character card we've gotten. So this is an action, this is something you can also play. And it's also a song. Songs are really fun, very Disney-esque. So a character at the cost of 2 or more can exert to sing this song for free. And then choose up to 2 characters to get -1 challenge during this turn and draw a card. So how singing works is I can either pay 2 to just play this and get up to 2 chosen characters, get their effect. Or I could take any other character with a cost of 2 or more. So like, example, I could take Kronk here. I could turn him sideways, spend him, have him basically singing the song, and not have to spend 2, but then that would give me an additional 2. Now, Jasmine, on the other hand, only costs 1 up here, so she can't use it. It's a really neat idea. Like, it gives you a way to play additional cards without having to spend your resources, therefore your resources to play more other cards. This card has a come into play, they did this effect, right? Like the Queen, right? I can use her, then I can play her, now I can have her sing a song instead of doing something else. Alright, we have another Merlin. We have Crab Merlin. Right or not, when you play this character, and when he leaves play, chosen character gains Challenger +3. They get +3 challenging. Well, challenging. He'll be out of this in a snap. So you can see how this works with the other one. He gets to maybe help find this one, and that way you can play him at the right moment. Try and, play these cards in the right order. They can trigger each other and help each other out. We have Baloo from the Jungle Book, a fun-loving bear. The bees are buzzing in the trees, make some honey just for me. Now, I really wonder what they're going to do, because so far they've only been doing movies. There's a lot of movies they haven't tapped yet, and I think they have at least 4 or 5 sets planned. So there's a lot of stuff to go through. Different versions of characters and all this. I wonder if they're going to ever get into the TV series. Because with Baloo, we got Tailspin. Or like Goofy. Like Mickey and Goofy, we have or at least Goofy, we have Goof Troop. So I wonder if they're ever going to get into that, and if we're going to have to figure out different versions of these characters. It'll be interesting. We have Ray. Easygoing Fireflies. So I'm guessing this is from Raya. The Last Dragon, I'm not for sure. But he has evasive. Only characters with evasive can challenge this character. So he's a lot harder to defeat. You could use them damaging effects, like Beast and the Queen, to target him. But yeah, you can't just attack him. But he has 3 luring. He may be hard to follow, but his heart isn't. We have a regular action, Nothing to Hide. With Gaston there from Beauty and the Beast. Each opponent reveals their hand, draw a card. So it's 1 cost to see what your opponent has, draw a card. I'm personally not really into hand revealing cards, but it at least draws you a card, so it's replacing itself. Alright, we got our first duplicate, we got another beast. Our first uncommon, speaking of Gaston, the Baritone Bully. So Dreamborn, I love the Dreamborn because they come with when you look at the beast too here, they have different costumes and different outfits. That's why I love the Dreamborn. They're kind of cool because they're a little more fantasized or fantastical versions of their regular costumes. He has Singer 5. This character counts as a 5 cost to sing songs. No one sings like Gaston, plays cards like Gaston, wins Lorcana as fast as Gaston. Yes, this is really cool. Some of these cards like this. So normally he would only be able to play a song of 3. Now he can play a song of 5. So you can get him out early. And now on turn 3, let's say, and now you could play a song that costs 5. 2 turns early. So that's pretty sweet. Alright. Our next uncommon, we have Pinocchio on the Run. Here's his half donkey form. And this is the Floodborn, so you can see this is kind of a little bit more exaggerated, fantastical version of him as well. Not one directly from the show. He has Shift 3, so Shift is a fun ability. You may pay 3 to play this on top of one of your characters named Pinocchio. So kind of where the songs let you play an action card a little bit cheaper, for free by exerting somebody else. The shift cards let you essentially take a previous character out and transport them into a different version. Not necessarily a more powerful version. Usually they cost more, but you can play this on, you can have another level 5 or level 6 out. It just lets you play this on top for cheaper. So again, I could get this 5 cost character out for only 3 instead. And if I played a 2 cost Pinocchio, it'll total have cost me 5, but I wouldn't have had to wait until I had 5 full. I could do it on turn 2 and then play this on turn 3. So it's kind of cool. Listen to your conscience. When you play this character, you may return chosen character or item with a cost of 3 or less to the player's hand. He raced to the Inklands without a thought. Some of these flavor texts kind of give the story lore. They haven't really delved into too much. Now, he's a purple card. You can bounce the character back to your hand. He worked really well with Merlin, right? Who has coming to play and leaving play abilities. So Merlin comes into play, then you play this, he bounces him back, you get trigger Merlin a second time, you get to play him again, and then, you get, our last uncommon is another Queen of Hearts, the Impulsive Ruler. So she has Rush. This character can challenge the turn they're played. The glow of the lore and the flood caught her eye. The spellbook she cried, don't let it get away. So now you can see the difference here between her story version, which is her movie costume, and her Dreamborn, which she has a exaggerated costume with a lot more hearts and flair to it, which is really cool. So I just wanted to kind of show that. Aha, I was close. It wasn't Nim, it was Mim. Our first rare is Madam Mim, rival of Merlin. Floodborn version, this is her, like, crazy version, with Shift 3, and Gruesome and Grim. Exhaust. Play a character at a cost of 4 or less for free. They gain Rush. At the end of the turn, banish them. They can challenge the turn they're played. This is kind of cool. She can just summon someone to come out quickly, play them. They can go ahead and challenge or attack. And then they have to go away. But hey, it's an extra free card, right? So that's pretty cool. Then we have the next card, which is a higher one, which I believe is a legendary rarity. Oh, super rare. Sorry, super rare. Right? Legendary is the next color up. Grand Pabby. So this is also from Rhea, I believe. Oldest and wisest. Ancient Insight. Whenever you move 1 or more damage from your characters, gain 2 lore. When he talks, even the skies listen. So yeah, now imagine playing him. Yeah, turn 7. You remove 1, you gain 2 lore. He can quest for 3, and then we play that Jasmine we got, right? So for a free 2 lore, which might, look at that, that's pretty cool. Then our foil card is another common, but it's Jafar, the Royal Vizier. Or Vizier. Don't trust him, sire. During your turn, this character gains evasive. So he has evasive, but only during your turn. Soon you'll learn who holds the real power. Pretty cool. I love it, Jafar. And then we have a second puzzle card, so we'll slowly collect those. Alright, a lot to go through for 2 packs. I know I'm excited for the 3rd series as well. They've already announced, I don't remember what the name is, but I think it's called Into the Inklands, I believe. But it adds location card, which is a really fun concept, because not only does it add a new card type to the game, it's add some new mechanics and gameplay stuff, but the fact is, Disney, not only is the lore and all the, like, the awesomeness and all the characters, it's also in the locations, the worlds, so that's pretty cool. Duplicate there, we have Dr. Facilier, Savvy Opportunist, who has evasive. Otherwise, not too much else, but that's not bad. We have our Minnie Mouse. I think they added a bunch of Minnie Mouses in this set to kind of counter Mickey being a bunch in the first set. Zipping around. 0 to fun in under 3 seconds. It's cool. We have a new Panic. Or at least a Panic. Maybe we didn't have one before. From Disney's Hercules. Why did I say Disney? Of course it's Disney. Hercules. I can handle it. When you play this character, chosen character gets +2 challenges turn. If the chosen character is getting pain, he gets 4 instead. Who says it's hard to find good help these days? Oh yeah, me. This is a fun card, because it's just like, simple little effect, but if you have a specific extra character, he gains more. I like when they have little characters that pair off like that. We have another Nothing to Hide. We have another song, like the Storm Rage On from Frozen. So a character 3 or more can sing this song. It's usually always whatever the cost is. Deal 2 damage to the chosen character. Draw a card. The cold never bothered me anyway. Yeah, free extra damage is always helpful. We have our first uncommon. We have Mouse Armor. This is from the Great Mouse Detective, not Mickey Mouse as you would think. Protection. Exert. Chosen character gains resist 1 until the start of your next turn. Damage dealt to them is reduced by 1. Built in the kindest of hands for the bravest of hearts. So this is an item card. Item cards, they play, they stay on the table. They're notoriously hard to get rid of. There are cards to get rid of them, not a lot. I think this set adds more to make up for there not being a lot in the first set. But unlike characters, which can be challenged, or you can do damage to them, or cards that might return them to their hand, or do different things, or action cards which are played and then go away, item cards are a little bit trickier to get rid of. Our next uncommon is Belle, the Bookworm. I like that she's listed as a princess as well. Use your imagination. While the opponent has no cards in their hand, this character gains +2 lore. There's nothing more tempting than a pile of unread books. So something like this is fun because it makes her more dangerous if your opponent is playing too many cards. So early on, she's just going to probably quest for 1. But if later on in the game she's still around, your opponent starts playing too many cards too quickly, also now you can quest for 3. They're going to have to watch out. They might have to just keep that last card in their hand just to block this card. Our last uncommon is Nick Wilde from Zootopia, Wily Fox. It's called a hustle. When you play this character, you may return an item card named Pawsicle from your discard pile to your hand. So this is a very unique thing because it references a specific item card, which we don't have. Hopefully we'll get that so we can see what that does. It's a criminal how good these things taste. Cool. I'm going to set him off to the side, so if we get that, we can take a look at him again. Our first rare card is a Merlin Shapeshifter. The Battle of Wits. Whenever one of your other characters is returned to your hand from play, this character gains +1 lore this turn. Oh, blast it all, I can't make up my mind. So yeah, if you play one of these other purple cards that bounces them back to your hand, like we saw at the Pinocchio, he gets to quest bigger. So that's pretty fun. We got our first legendary knights, which is basically the best rare you can get other than the enchanted, which again, I'm not expecting to get. Mufasa, betrayed leader, mentor and king. I love king. Sun will set. When this character is banished, you may reveal a top card of your deck. If it is a character card, you may play that character for free. They enter play exerted. Otherwise, put it on top of your deck. Interesting. So if you can stack your deck with a Merlin card, something like that, this could be very cool. Otherwise, just the fact that you could potentially get a free character just for him biting the dust, as it were. Alright, our rare card is another common. Again, we could potentially get a legendary rare or foil in here. But we have a Mulan, training, soldier in training, storyboard, hero, and princess. Rush can attack, challenge a turn they're played. I have something to do. And then we have another Minnie Mouse corner piece. Alright. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go through half of them, which would be 12 packs, but we'll try and get 8 or so done. We'll see. I don't want to go longer than an hour per video if I don't have to. Alright, next pack. We got another Grumpy. We have I'm Stuck. Poor Winnie. Pooh, I guess, would be the correct way of... Choosing an exerted character can't ready at the start of the next turn. Oh, bother. Not again. Yes, this is pretty cool. Very simple card, but basically stopping someone from being able to do their action again. This can be really helpful if they have an activated thing. Like Madam Mim exerts to do her ability, then you can stop her from doing it the next turn. So that's pretty cool. We have from Hercules, Go the Distance, 2 cost song. Ready chosen damage character of yours they can't quest for this turn, draw a card. So basically the reason why they do that, so you can't quest with someone and then turn around, ready them, and quest a second time. But you can do is you could attack, like exert them with this, attack again, or you could have quested the first time, then come back and challenge the second time. They just want you to be able to quest twice in a row because that could basically win you the game. But like also the fact is drawing cards on some of these just help replace them. Alright, then we have Rakagame, the criminal mastermind, his Dreamborn, where he's all rich and powerful. He's got gems and a crown. And it's also fun with some of the Dreamborn cards. They gain the colors or aesthetic of whatever color the card is. It's kind of a neat aesthetic thing, but also it's like, it detracts from maybe what they maybe normally have been. But you see, it has all the green on him, the emeralds, because he's an emerald card. He has evasive. So he doesn't have a lot of things. Basically, his high attack. 2 lore. He's not going to take a lot of hits, though. I've outdone myself this time. Soon I will have everything I deserve. Riches, powers, and entire kingdom at my feet. To counter him, we are going to get Dreamborn version of Basil. That is fun. Basil of Baker Street. This is all his tech gadgets on him. Support. When there's character quests, you may add their challenge to another chosen challenger character's list card assist. Basically having him quest power someone else up. What an ingenious device. If it is light refracted through these, then images must resolve somewhere below. Cool. From Mulan, we have the Last Cannon, which is an item card. Arm yourself. So pay 1 and banish this item, so remove it from the game. Chosen character gains Challenger 3 this turn. 1 shot can change everything. So yeah, it's going to cost you 1 extra to use it when it's out and get it, but this is something that can really like mess with your opponent, right? You just always have this sitting there. They never know when you're going to play it, right? When else you're going to boost up a character. So that's pretty cool. Our first uncommon is another Pinocchio Talkative Puppet. Telling lies. When you play this character, you may exert chosen opposing character. A lie keeps growing and growing until it's as plain as the nose on your face. It's a very simple storyline one. We have Nana, the darling family pet from Peter Pan. Nursemaid. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, you remove all damage from a chosen character. Children are a dog's best friend. That's cool. We had the one character that gained a bonus every time somebody healed. I'm trying to find that quick. Oh, whenever you move 1 or more damage counters. Okay, so this wouldn't make a difference because this would just be 1 or more. And now I've tilted all my cards sideways. Yeah, no, that's definitely fun. And it's not even from that, it's from whatever character. Just play a Floodborn and you can heal them. Speaking of Peter Pan, we have You Can Fly, another song. Chosen character gains evasive till the start of your next turn. Alright, our first rare is we have the Minnie Mouse. It's going to go with the puzzle cards. So this is the image we're basically trying to make. The Wide-Eyed Diver. She's her Floodborn version, which is kind of funny because she's underwater. Shift 2 and evasive. Undersea Adventure. When you play a second action this turn, character gets +2 or this turn. So if you play 2 actions, she gains a bonus. And shifting will help you do that as well. And then we have a super rare, the Queen. Disguised Peddler. From Snow White. My brain saw the castle and I immediately thought it was the old woman from Beauty and the Beast. And I'm like, why would she have an apple? This is no ordinary apple. A perfect disguise. Exert. Choose and discard a character card. Gain lore equal to the discarded character's lore. Oh, that's nasty, right? Just, I mean, there are characters that have more than 3, but somewhere between 1 and 3 is very, very average or the typical. If I can just keep discarding cards from your hand to gain lore, and your opponent doesn't know what you have in your hand, that's crazy. Alright, then our foil is another common. We have Donald Duck Sleepwalker. Startle Awake. Whenever you play an action, this character gains +2 challenge this turn. Heading towards a rude awakening. 5 defense, though. That's pretty crazy. Then we have another mini there. So I didn't show off the back of the card. I'm just going to show that quick, like, opening another pack. It's a really cool artwork on the back of the card. I like it better than some games that just put, like, the name of the card or the logo for, like, the set. You have, like, Marvel versus System, or whatever. It's like, this looks cool just because if it's laying face down on the table for whatever reason, or your deck, it looks really neat. Someone might walk by and see that and be like, ooh, that looks cool. Alright, up next, we have in this pack, we have Snow White. From her titled movie, Lost in the Forest. I won't hurt you. When you play this character, you may up to 2 damage from a chosen character. Why, you're all alone, just like me. Yeah, healing effects are always good. We have an awesome card. I love this artwork. Winnie the Pooh Honey Wizard. This is his dream where he becomes the Wizard of Honey. He always felt the kinship with honey. They were both golden and sweet and ended up in sticky situations. That's pretty cool. 5 cost, 5 challenge, 5 defense. That's pretty fun. We have another Felicia, another Queen of Hearts. We have James from Princess and the Frog, I believe. Role model. Never lose sight. This character is banished. You may put this card in your inkwell face down and you're deserted. So what's really cool about this, so like Blue likes to do this as well. They like to give you extra resources. So if he gets defeated, you now have an extra card to spend points on. So it's definitely not a bad thing. We have Charge from Rhea. Chosen character gains Challenger +2 and Resist +2, so you get 2 attack and 2 reduced damage. Sometimes Celerity is required. This is not one of those times. Our first uncommon is Ellie LaBeouf, the Big Daddy. So I think this is also Princess and the Frog. My brain, first time I saw this guy, I'm like, is this Tarzan? But I don't remember. I don't suppose y'all could whip me up some more magical vignettes with them ink casters. So he's kind of referencing the lore of the story. Fairly simple card, but you need some of those. We have our first uncommon. We have Bounce with Tigger and Gru from Winnie the Pooh. Chosen character of yours. Return chosen character of yours to your hand and return another chosen character to their player's hand. Are you ready for some bouncing? Yeah, you have to return one of yours, but you get force one of your opponents. You could plan to help you out, and you could hurt them. Our next uncommon is another Pinocchio. Our first rare is our third Queen of Hearts. Capricious Monarch. Off with their heads. Whenever an opposing character is banished, you may ready this character. The 4th rule of villainy, do whatever it takes to get ahead. Oh, I love those. I think I had some of those in the first one. The rules of villainy. That's really cool. Then we have our other rare Flame Rider from Enchanted. His own biggest fans. This is his Floodborn version. This is him, fantastical. If he was, the ultimate, thief. What's that? 4 questing. That's nuts. Shift 2... evasive, and 1 last big score. This character gains -1 lore for each card in your opponent's hand. So this is kind of a tricky one. He has 4 lore, but if your opponent has 4 cards, he has no lore. But if you can find ways to make your opponent discard or play cards, or it could definitely penalize them for playing cards. That could definitely hurt them. Which, to point this out, goes good with this Belle here. Your opponent has no cards, she gains +2. So if you have both of these guys out, that's 4, 5, 6, 7 lore in one turn, just for your opponent not having any cards. It's just gonna hurt them to not. So it's gonna penalize their opponent for playing stuff. Our foil is an impulsive ruler queen, which you've seen, but it's an uncommon. So that's always fun. There is the top corner of minis. We're just missing the other one. I like it to have the alternate arts on there as well. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 5. Pack number 6. So really, depending on how many duplicates we get, will be how many packs we get through. Up next, first card, we have Eudora, Accomplished Seamstress. Love holds everything together. Princess and the Frog, possibly. We're just judging by the artwork. Cool. 9 defense? Holy crap. Wow. Croquet Malik. Love that. From Alice in Wonderland. Hurtling Hedgehog. Bash this item. Chosen character gains rush this turn. So these ones you react to bash items are kind of cool, because items are hard to get rid of, but it's also the fact you can play these items for cheap. Then they just sit there waiting for you to use it. We have Fidget. Ragadan's henchman from Great Mouse Detective. Evasive. When a normal henchman just won't cut it. Cut it, because he's got a little blade on his foot. Yeah, definitely cool. Other than, again, you jumped into some of these other stories. Here we have another Fling Rider, Confident Vagabond. I love a good fan club, but at least they could try to get the nose right. So, very cheap one. Comes out for 1. Lets him do his stuff. But, did the other one have Shift 2, right? So you play him for 1, and then now you can play 2 more to play this on top of him, which boosts his stats a little bit, right? Up to 2. But it's better than paying 4 for him, right? You're paying 3 overall, but you can get him on turn 2 instead of turn 4. We have our Jasmine, a regular version. And then we have Beja, Guardian of the Dragon Gem from Raya. We have a choice. When you play this character, you may banish a chosen item. Don't mistake spirit for skill. This guy can be very powerful for that skill or item banishing ability. That's pretty cool. We have our second dwarf. We have Dopey. Now, I think they're supposed to make a scene, but these two might not go next to each other. But I think they're supposed to create, like, a full scene if you play them all left to right. We'll have to take a look at that if we get more of them. Always playful. Odd one out. When this character is banished, your other 7 dwarf characters gain 2 challenges at the start of your turn. He's a real gem. So, Grumpy gives everyone else an extra challenge. Dopey gives all of them, but only when he's banished. I'm going to drop him down with the other one. We'll take a look. We have Judy Hopps from Zootopia. Optimistic Officer. Don't call me cute. When you play this character, you may banish chosen item. Its player draws a card. I'll get to the bottom of what happened to that lock lore book. You can count on me. Yeah, item banishing is very good. We have our first Rhea, the Warrior of Kumandra. My body dreams of united Kumandra to fight. I fight to honor that dream. Very simple. Good stats, decent stuff, but yeah, no special abilities. Our first rare is another Pinocchio. So I do try and get a couple of characters repeated a lot. So in the first set, we had a lot of Dr. Facilier, Beast, Gaston, Belle, Mickey Mouse's, a couple of Donald and Goofy's. Yeah, a lot of characters repeated. This set, some of them characters might pop up here and there. We have a lot. Elsa's, Anna's, Belle's, Aurora, some of the other princesses, Ariels. Now we're getting a bunch of the other different characters. Some of the other ones might be sprinkled in here, but we're trying to get more of the same characters. Star attraction. That personality, that profile, that physique. Why? I can see your name in lights, like 6 feet high. So yeah, 3 lore, but 1/1. So it's basically just gonna try and quest. Our second rare is the Grand Duke, advisor to the king. I believe this is Frozen. I might be wrong on that one too. Yes, Your Majesty, your princesses, kings, and queen characters get 1 challenge. I love that. He takes being opinionated to a higher level. And then our foil is another common, but we haven't seen this before. We have a Basil, perceptive investigator. There's no question. Something's afoot in the great Illuminary. Illuminary is a story for Lorcana. It's pretty cool. And then our last one is the last of the 4 artwork. Now, it's cool that we get these artwork cards. I wish they had, like, I said this in the older videos too. I wish they had, like, 2 different ones. Just because it's like, alright, I'm 7, 8 packs in. I have all 4 of them. I'm just going to keep getting duplicates. Now, I don't wish they're, like, old trading cards where they had, like, 6, 7 of them. Because then it's hard to collect all of them. But if you just had 2 different ones, you know, it'd be kind of cool. Alright, our last pack for this video, we're going to start off with a dwarf right away. We have Sweepy, nodding off. Yawn, this character enters play exerted. He never gets tired of naps. So he doesn't help the other dwarves, but they'll boost him. We'll drop him with our other dwarves there. We have a Merlin Crab, Go the Distance, Ragadan, new card, Gumbo Pot, new item. I'm not even sure what this one's from. James. Special is probably then Princess and the Frog, maybe. The best I've ever tasted. Exert to remove 1 damage for up to 2 chosen characters. Now this is crazy, right? Because this comes out every time you can once per turn, exert this, and remove 2 damage from 1 of each character. You can trigger other abilities and stuff. So your opponents are gonna really try and get rid of that. Oh, this is awesome. The Magic Broom industrial model. So the fantasized Dreamborns. Now instead of being regular wood, now they're all metal. Make it shine. When you play this character, a chosen character gains resist 1 until the start of your next turn. Even with a haul and weight of seriously a lot, I can only do so much in a magical flood. It's a broom, has its keywords. You had Mickey Mouse in his Fantasia version in the first set that played around with these. So that's pretty cool. Our first uncommon is the Prince from Sleeping Beauty. Never gives up. His Dreamborn is a little bit like, I see myself as wearing armor. Really cool. His Bodyguard, new keyword for this set. This character may enter play exerted. A opposing character who challenges one of your characters must choose one with Bodyguard if able, and resist 1. So it comes in and helps protect you. We have Daisy Duck, Secret Agent. That's kind of cool. Thwart, whenever this character quests, each opponent chooses and discards a card. Oh, that sucks for the opponent. Our last uncommon is Launch. Ready, Aim, Coconut. Banish chosen item of yours to deal 5 damage to a chosen character. So this could be helpful for, like, oh, I have that 1 card sitting out trying to rush, right? You know, I don't need it. I don't need it at this point. Like, later in the game, I don't need to rush at this point. Get rid of it. Deal 5 damage. Or I have the healing card, right? My opponent's just not attacking me enough. They're not hurting me enough. Like, the deck I'm playing against. Get rid of it. Like, there's some good options there. Our, first rare is Honest John, Not That Honest, from Pinocchio. Easy street. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, each opponent loses 1 lore. Anything like that ought to be worth a fortune to someone. That's pretty cool. And our last rare is a legendary. It's got 2 legendaries. We have Alice, Growing Girl. Good advice. When your character gains your other characters gain support. Whenever they quest, they may add their challenge to another character's this turn. What did I do? Well, this character has 10 plus or more, she gains 4 lore. So the idea of this is giving everybody else support. They all quest, and you have a bunch of them all questing. And if they have high enough challenge, they can get her up to 10, and then she can quest for 5. Which you only need 20, that's a quarter of the way there, right? And if they're all questing anyhow, you could maybe win in like 2 or 3 turns once this gets out. So this can be very powerful. Alright, then our foil card, we have this mini here to show that, is another dwarf. We have Happy, Good-Natured. Support, whenever this character quests, you may add your challenge to another character. Couldn't pick a better friend. Pick pickaxe, ha ha ha. Yep, still not seeing how the artwork lines up together on any of these. And it might not, or I have 4, so maybe I'm just missing the 3 cards that go in between. Which is entirely possible. Alright, that is what we have for Disney Lorcana Rise of the Floodborn set number 2. So yeah, come back, check out part 2. We'll go through the rest of the packs. We'll probably fly through them a little bit quicker, because again, I won't have to read off all the duplicates, and we'll start getting more and more as we go through. See you guys later. Bye.